Stop everything for a moment and answer me quietly in your heart. Which country are you watching this from right now? What time is it where you are? I want you to really feel that, because wherever you are, at this exact moment, Allah is listening to your heart, to your prayers, to your struggles. And yet, some of your deepest desires, some of your most important dreams are still delayed. Before you call this delay punishment, before you assume Allah is upset, before you give up hope, you need to hear this, because what you think is rejection, what you think is failure, what you think is disappointment, may actually be the greatest mercy of your life, and it's waiting for you to understand it. So stay with me until the very end. By the time this video finishes, your heart will never look at delay the same way again, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what time it is. Delay is often a sign of Allah's care, not His anger. Many people believe that when something is delayed, it must mean Allah is unhappy with them. This belief quietly hurts the heart, because it makes a person feel unwanted by their Lord. But this understanding is not correct. If delay were a sign of punishment, then the people most loved by Allah would have received everything quickly and easily. Yet when we look at the lives of the best people, we see something very different. We see waiting, we see long periods of uncertainty, we see patience before relief. This alone should teach us that delay is not proof of rejection. Allah does not show His love by giving things fast. Allah shows His love by protecting, guiding, and staying close to His servant. Sometimes Allah delays something because He cares deeply about what that thing could do to your heart, your faith, or your future. Not every blessing is harmless at every time. Something good, if given too early, can become a source of pain, confusion, or even distance from Allah. So when Allah delays, it may be because He is watching over you with care, not anger. Think about how a loving parent acts. A parent does not give a child everything the moment they ask, not because they enjoy refusing, but because they understand what the child cannot yet handle. In the same way, Allah knows what you are ready for and what would break you if it came too soon. When Allah holds something back, it is often because He is being gentle with you, not harsh. He is protecting you from carrying a weight you are not yet strong enough to carry. Many times we focus only on what we want, but Allah looks at who we are becoming. Allah sees the version of you that will exist after this delay, not just the pain you feel now. If He rushed the blessing, it might damage your heart, your character, or your connection with Him. So He slows the process, not to hurt you, but to prepare you. Care often looks like waiting, even though it feels uncomfortable. It is important to understand this clearly. Allah does not delay because He enjoys watching you struggle. Allah delays because He is wise, and His wisdom is always wrapped in mercy. When you feel that delay, instead of asking, "What did I do wrong?" try asking, "What is Allah protecting me from?" Or, "What is Allah preparing me for?" This shift in thinking brings peace instead of bitterness. If the delay has made you more thoughtful, more humble, more aware of Allah, and more sincere in your prayers, then it cannot be a sign of anger. Anger pushes people away, but this delay has pulled you closer. That is not punishment. That is care. Sometimes Allah's love shows itself not by opening doors quickly, but by holding them closed until the moment you can walk through them safely. Your emotions are not a reliable judge of Allah's actions. Many believers unknowingly judge Allah's actions through the lens of their emotions. When the heart feels heavy, disappointed, or tired, it starts telling stories that are not true. The heart says, "If this delay hurts, then it must be bad." Or, "If I feel ignored, then Allah must be distant." But emotions were never meant to be judges of divine wisdom. Emotions change daily. Allah's wisdom never changes. A sad heart does not mean Allah is unkind. A tired soul does not mean Allah is displeased. Feelings are real, but they are not always truthful. They reflect what you are experiencing, not what Allah is intending. Many times, what feels painful in the moment is actually protecting you from a deeper pain you cannot yet imagine. The heart reacts to what it sees now, but Allah acts based on what He knows will last forever. If emotions were reliable judges, then fear would always mean danger, and comfort would always mean safety. But life teaches us otherwise. A child cries when a needle touches their skin, yet that needle may be saving their life. The child's emotions say harm, but the parent's knowledge says healing. In the same way, Allah allows moments that feel uncomfortable because He sees outcomes we cannot see and futures we cannot understand yet. When delay enters your life, emotions often rush to label it as loss, rejection, or failure. But Allah never asked you to understand everything. He asked you to trust Him even when understanding is absent. Faith does not mean you never feel confused. Faith means you do not let confusion rewrite who Allah is in your heart. Sometimes the delay hurts because it touches a deep attachment. You wanted something badly, and now the heart feels exposed. In that vulnerability, emotions speak loudly. They tell you that something must be wrong with you, that you are being punished, or that Allah has forgotten you. But Allah forgetting you is impossible. The one who manages the universe does not overlook a sincere heart. Your emotions are part of your humanity, not a reflection of Allah's intention. Feeling sad does not mean Allah is harsh. Feeling tired does not mean Allah is distant. Feeling delayed does not mean Allah is denying you. It often means Allah is guiding you in a way that does not match your expectations. A believer learns to feel emotions without letting them define the truth. You can feel pain and still believe Allah is kind. You can feel delayed and still trust Allah's timing. You can feel lost and still know Allah is guiding you step by step. Emotional discomfort is not evidence against Allah's mercy. Many times, it is simply evidence that you are growing through something meaningful. When you stop using emotions as proof against Allah, your heart finds peace even before the situation changes. You begin to say, I do not understand this yet, but I trust the one who does. And that trust itself becomes a form of healing long before the delay ends. Delay is often preparation for what is coming. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the greatest misunderstandings we have about delay is that we think nothing is happening. We assume that because we cannot see movement, Allah is not working. But in reality, delay is often the most active phase of Allah's plan. It is the stage where foundations are being built quietly, deeply, and carefully. Allah never prepares blessings on the surface. He prepares people from the inside first. When something important is meant to enter your life, Allah begins by shaping your heart, your patience, your understanding, and your character. This kind of preparation cannot be rushed. If Allah were to give you what you want before this inner work is complete, the blessing itself could become a source of stress, loss, or even distance from Him. Many people think they are ready simply because they desire something strongly. But desire is not readiness. Readiness means having the emotional strength, spiritual balance, and trust in Allah to carry a blessing without it changing you for the worse. Allah knows exactly what weight your heart can hold, even when you do not. So when He delays, it is often because He is strengthening you in ways you cannot yet recognize. Delay also teaches lessons that comfort never can. Through waiting, you learn patience. Through uncertainty, you learn reliance. Through unanswered questions, you learn humility. These qualities are not side benefits, they are essential. Without them, the very thing you are asking for might pull you away from Allah instead of bringing you closer to Him. Sometimes Allah delays because He is aligning things you cannot see. He is arranging people, timing, circumstances, and protection all at once. You may be focused on one small piece of the picture, while Allah is preparing the entire scene. If one part is not ready, everything waits, not out of cruelty, but out of wisdom. It is also important to understand that preparation does not always feel gentle. Sometimes it feels heavy, sometimes it feels confusing, sometimes it feels lonely. But difficulty during preparation does not mean failure, it means growth. Seeds grow in darkness before they ever break through the soil. The darkness does not mean the seed is dead. It means it is becoming strong enough to rise. When you look back later, you will often realize that if Allah had answered you earlier, you would not have been able to handle what came with it. You may have lost yourself, your peace, or your closeness to Allah. The delay saved you from that loss. What felt like waiting was actually protection mixed with training. So do not rush Allah's work in your life. Do not pressure your heart to understand everything right now. Trust that if Allah is delaying, He is preparing you for something that requires a stronger, wiser, and more grounded version of you. And when the time comes, you will see that the waiting was not empty. It was necessary. Delay is a form of protection you may never fully understand. When Allah delays something in your life, it is often because He is protecting you from a harm you cannot yet see and may never fully understand. As human beings, we judge situations by what we feel in the moment. We see only the surface of events, not their hidden outcomes. Allah, however, sees the full picture, past, present, and future all at once. What feels like denial to you may actually be Allah quietly removing danger from your path. There are moments when, if Allah gave you exactly what you asked for at the time you asked, it would have caused you pain, regret, or even spiritual loss later. Because Allah loves you, He chooses safety over speed. Sometimes the protection is from people. You may be asking for a relationship, a friendship, or a marriage, not knowing that the hearts involved are not sincere, stable, or safe for you. Allah may delay so that you do not attach your heart to someone who would later wound it deeply. Other times the protection is from circumstances. You may desire a certain position, success, or opportunity, unaware that it would expose you to pressure, arrogance, exhaustion, or temptations that your faith is not yet strong enough to handle. Allah knows your limits even when you do not, and He does not place burdens on you that will break you. There are also times when Allah delays because what you want would distract you from what you need. A quick relief might make you less mindful, less humble, less dependent on Him. In those moments, delay becomes a shield, guarding your heart from drifting away. Allah may be preserving your softness, your sincerity, and your connection with Him. What seems like loss in the world may be a gain in your soul. It is important to understand that not all protection feels gentle. Sometimes protection feels heavy, confusing, and emotionally exhausting. But Allah's protection is not always designed to feel comfortable. It is designed to keep you safe in ways that matter eternally. One day, you may look back and realize that the delay you resented saved you from a life you would not have survived with your faith intact. When Allah protects you, He does not always explain Himself. He asks you to trust Him. And trusting Allah during delay is not weakness, it is strength. It is believing that Allah's wisdom is greater than your understanding, and that His care for you is deeper than your fear of waiting. Delay redirects the heart from results to Allah Himself. When Allah delays something you are asking for, one of the greatest changes that happens is inside the heart, not outside. At the beginning, the heart is focused on the result. You want the answer, the solution, the relief, the change. Your dua is tied to an outcome. But as time passes and the delay continues, Allah gently shifts your heart. Slowly, without you realizing it, you begin to speak to Allah more than you speak about what you want from Him. You start turning to Him not just for an answer, but for comfort, strength, and peace. This redirection is intentional. Allah knows that if your heart stays attached only to results, it will break when results change. So He teaches the heart to attach to Him instead. Many people think the purpose of dua is only to get what we ask for, but often the greater purpose is what dua does to us while we are waiting. During delay, you learn how to rely on Allah when nothing is happening. You learn how to trust Him when there is no evidence in front of you. You learn how to sit with unanswered questions without losing faith. These are not small lessons. These are foundations of a strong relationship with Allah. If Allah gave you what you wanted immediately, your heart might never reach this level of closeness. Delay also exposes where the heart is attached. When something is delayed, you feel discomfort because your heart is clinging to the outcome. Allah uses this moment to gently loosen that grip. He teaches the heart that peace does not come from having everything resolved, but from knowing who is in control. Over time, you begin to say, "Ya Allah, I still want this, but more than that, I want you." This is a powerful transformation. A heart that reaches this state is no longer fragile. It does not rise and fall with circumstances. It finds stability in Allah Himself. Sometimes Allah delays not because the blessing is small, but because the relationship He wants with you is deep. He wants you to know Him in waiting, not only in receiving. He wants you to experience His closeness in uncertainty, not just His generosity in ease. When the heart learns to turn to Allah before turning to outcomes, it becomes stronger, calmer, and more content. This is not loss. This is growth. The delay did not take anything away from you. It gave you something far greater. A heart that knows where true safety comes from. Delay tests your trust in Allah's character. Sometimes the things we want the most take longer to come than we expect, and our hearts feel heavy, confused, or even frustrated. In these moments, the test is not about what we receive or what we lose. The test is about how much we trust Allah's character, His wisdom, and His love for us. Trusting Allah does not mean simply believing He exists or hoping things will eventually turn out okay. True trust means believing that everything He does is for your good, even when your mind cannot understand it. When life delays what you long for, it is easy to start doubting, to question whether Allah is unfair, or to feel that He is distant. But these thoughts are traps for the heart. Allah does not act without reason. Every pause, every moment of waiting is a part of His care. When you continue to trust Allah, even when your heart is uneasy, you are proving the strength of your faith. You are proving that your love for Allah is not dependent on receiving what you want, but on knowing that He is always good and never unjust. Delay is like a mirror for your heart. It shows you where your reliance truly lies. If your trust wavers every time a prayer seems unanswered, then the delay is a lesson. If your faith remains patient and calm, then the delay becomes a blessing. It teaches you patience, humility, and sincerity. It reminds you that Allah's timing is perfect, and that even when you cannot see the path, He is guiding you safely toward what is best. Trusting Allah's character transforms your perspective. Instead of feeling abandoned, you begin to feel protected. Instead of seeing a delay as a punishment, you start to see it as an opportunity to grow, to purify your intentions, and to become closer to the One who knows, sees, and cares for every detail of your life. The true test is not about the outcome. It is about the heart's response to waiting, the choice to believe in Allah's kindness, even when it is unseen, and the decision to rely on Him completely, instead of leaning on your own understanding. Waiting is not a weakness. It is a training ground for trust. Every moment you continue to trust Allah, even in confusion or disappointment, strengthens your heart in a way that instant answers never could. True reliance is built in the silence of waiting, in the moments when you cannot see the reason, but still choose to believe that Allah is working for your ultimate good. Delay is a repeated pattern. in the lives of the righteous. When we look at the lives of those whom Allah favored, the prophets and the righteous, one thing becomes very clear. Delay was not unusual in their lives. It was not an exception. It was a pattern. They did not receive everything immediately, and their blessings often came after years of waiting, hardship, and patience. This is a profound lesson for anyone who feels that their prayers are being delayed or that life is not moving as they hoped. The truth is, Allah does not rush His greatest gifts. He allows the heart to be tested, the soul to be strengthened, and the character to be refined. The prophets faced rejection, loss, and long periods of difficulty, yet they remained steadfast. They continued to trust Allah even when the path was unclear. Their waiting was not a sign of neglect. It was part of the process of preparation. It shaped them into the strong, patient, and wise individuals who could handle what Allah intended for them. When you notice delays in your own life, it is important to remember this pattern. Allah's timing is not random. Just as the righteous before you were shaped by waiting, you too are being shaped. Every moment of patience strengthens your faith, teaches you humility, and deepens your connection with Allah. What may feel like a setback could actually be a stage of growth that you cannot yet recognize. The delay also teaches perspective. If the prophets had received what they asked for too soon, without the experience of struggle, they may not have been ready to carry the responsibility or the blessing that followed. Likewise, your waiting may be preparing you for something greater than you imagine, something your heart and mind are not yet capable of fully understanding. Seeing this repeated pattern in the lives of the righteous helps us reframe our own experiences. Delay is not punishment. It is a divine method of building endurance, faith, and insight. Each period of waiting is an invitation to trust more deeply, to rely more fully, and to prepare your heart for what is to come. It reminds us that Allah's plan is always greater than our impatience, and that His wisdom is far beyond what we can comprehend. Do not call punishment what Allah calls wisdom. One of the most important truths to understand about delay is that not every difficulty, obstacle, or unanswered prayer is a punishment. It is easy for the human heart to jump to conclusions, to assume that what does not come quickly or easily must be a sign that Allah is angry, displeased, or punishing us. But this is a misunderstanding, a misconception that can harm faith more than the delay itself. What we see as hardship or denial may actually be wisdom in disguise, a divine protection, or a hidden blessing that our limited vision cannot yet grasp. Allah sees the beginning and the end, the cause and the effect, the path and the consequences. We only see fragments of our lives, and sometimes those fragments seem unfair or painful. But when we accept that Allah's knowledge is complete and His wisdom is perfect, we begin to understand that what appears as delay may be shaping us, guiding us, and preparing us for something far greater than we imagined. Every unanswered request, every closed door, every pause in life has a reason beyond our comprehension. Believing that delay is punishment creates fear, frustration, and hopelessness. It makes the heart heavy and restless. But understanding that delay can be wisdom brings peace, patience, and trust. It allows us to focus on growing ourselves, purifying our intentions, and strengthening our relationship with Allah, instead of becoming consumed by worry about what we have not received. Delay becomes a teacher rather than an enemy, a guide rather than a test of despair. The heart that learns to trust in Allah's wisdom, even when life seems slow or difficult, is a heart that experiences true faith. It understands that sometimes blessings come disguised as challenges, that safety is hidden in what seems like restriction, and that growth often requires waiting. Nothing is wasted in Allah's plan. The very moments that feel like setbacks may be preparing the foundation for success, joy, and fulfillment in ways we cannot yet see. Do not call punishment what Allah calls wisdom. Do not label silence as rejection or delay as disfavor. Instead, believe that every pause in life, every unanswered question, and every moment of waiting is part of Allah's perfect plan. Trust that He is always working for your good, even when you cannot see it. When we shift our perspective from fear to faith, from doubt to trust, the heart becomes lighter, the spirit becomes stronger, and we begin to feel the presence of Allah in every moment, guiding, protecting, and preparing us for what is truly best. Before we end, take a moment and breathe. Remember what we discussed today. The delay you thought was punishment. The waiting you thought was a test of luck. The silence you felt from Allah. It was never against you. It was always for you. Trust that Allah is shaping you in ways you cannot yet see. Trust that every pause, every unanswered prayer, every moment of waiting is part of His perfect wisdom. Your heart is being prepared for something greater than you imagined, and your soul is being lifted closer to Him. Carry this understanding with you into your daily life. Let it soften your heart, strengthen your patience, and deepen your trust in Allah. Do not let doubt steal the peace that Allah has placed in your heart. Delay is not denial. Delay is guidance. Delay is protection. Delay is love. Go forward, knowing that Allah is with you in every moment, watching, guiding, and preparing what is best for you. Your waiting is not in vain. Your prayers are not ignored. Your life is not random, and your heart is never alone. Reflect on this today, tomorrow, and every day. And remember, the truth of Allah's wisdom will always surpass what your eyes can see and what your heart can understand.